Commander Zethkar of the Galactic Coalition watched the holographic display with mounting disbelief. The Death World designated as Cathara 7 had claimed another victim. This time, an entire squadron of the Coalition's most elite warriors from 12 different species. The Crimson Planet rotated slowly in the projection, its surface a nightmare of razor-sharp crystal formations, gravity wells that could crush starships, and predators that had evolved beyond all reason. "Sir," his aide, a six-armed Helixian, spoke with trembling voice stalks. "The humans are requesting permission to mount a rescue operation." Zethkar's scales darkened with incredulity. Humans, those bizarre bipedal creatures who had only joined the Coalition 3 cycles ago. They were soft pink things with no natural armor, no venom sacs, no psychic abilities. Their homeworld was so pathetically safe that it supported millions of different species living in harmony. What could they possibly accomplish where the Coalition's apex predators had failed? "Denied," Zethkar rumbled. "I will not sacrifice more lives to that accursed rock." But the humans, as they had proven repeatedly since first contact, possessed an alarming tendency to ignore direct orders when they disagreed with them. Captain Sarah Chen stood in the cargo bay of the human vessel, Indomitable, addressing her 12-person rescue team. Around her, the soldiers checked their equipment with casual efficiency that would have horrified other species. Instead of plasma cannons or molecular disruptors, they carried primitive projectile weapons. Instead of powered armor, they wore flexible fabric suits. Instead of fear-inducing war cries, they exchanged jokes and shared photographs of their families. "All right, team," Chen said, grinning. "Standard rescue op on a Class X death world. Intel says we're looking at gravity 30% above standard, atmosphere that'll dissolve most metals, and local fauna that views everything as either prey or competition." She paused as laughter rippled through the group. "So basically, Australia with extra steps?" Sergeant Martinez snorted. "At least there won't be any drop bears." "Don't jinx it, Martinez," Corporal Johnson called out, earning more chuckles. Chen's smile widened. This was why humans were perfect for impossible missions. They had evolved on a world where literally everything was trying to kill them, yet somehow maintained their sense of humor about it. The insertion went exactly as badly as predicted. Their ship barely survived atmospheric entry, the hull screaming as Cathara's acidic air tried to dissolve their vessel. They crash-landed in a forest of crystalline trees that rang like funeral bells in the howling wind. "Well," Chen observed, picking herself up from the wreckage, "that could have gone worse." As if summoned by her words, something the size of a small building emerged from behind a crystal spire. It had too many teeth, too many eyes, and made a sound like grinding metal mixed with dying stars. The creature that had terrorized a dozen species froze when it saw the humans. They were laughing. Not the wild laughter of madness or fear, but genuine, delighted amusement. "Holy shit," whispered Martinez, raising his weapon. "It's like a T-Rex had a baby with a blender and fed it nothing but nightmares." "And steroids," Johnson added helpfully. "Don't forget the steroids." The creature, which had never encountered prey that responded to its terrifying presence with commentary and critique, hesitated. In that moment of confusion, 12 human weapons spoke as one. The beast fell, and the humans immediately began examining its corpse with scientific curiosity. "Interesting bone structure," Dr. Reeves noted, the team's xenobiologist. "Definitely compensating for something with all those spines." Over the next 6 hours, the humans carved their way through Cathara's deadliest regions with methodical efficiency. They treated gravity wells like particularly aggressive ocean currents, acid rain like an inconvenient drizzle, and the planet's apex predators like especially large versions of Earth's more troublesome wildlife. When they found the Coalition survivors, traumatized, broken, barely clinging to sanity after witnessing their squad mates torn apart, the humans' response was immediate and characteristically human. "Hey there," Chen said gently to a Vaxillian, warrior twice her size who was curled in a fetal position. "Rough couple of days? We're here to take you home." The rescue itself became the stuff of legend. The humans didn't just extract the survivors. They did it while maintaining a running commentary on local flora and fauna, sharing ration packs with shell-shocked aliens, and somehow managing to treat the whole operation like a particularly challenging camping trip. The moment that would echo through galactic history came when they reached the extraction point. A pack of Kithara's most feared predators, shadow cats that could phase through matter and had never known defeat, surrounded the group. The humans looked at each other and burst into laughter. "You know what these remind me of?" Martinez said, shouldering his rifle. "Your ex-girlfriend?" Johnson suggested. "I was going to say house cats having a really bad day, but yours works too." The shadow cats, apex predators that had terrorized this world for millennia, found themselves facing creatures that treated their worst nightmares as sources of entertainment. The psychological impact was devastating. For the first time in evolutionary history, the hunters became the hunted. When the human ship lifted off from Kithara 7, it carried not just the rescued coalition forces, but also several specimens of local wildlife that the humans had decided would make interesting pets, and a geological survey that Dr. Reeves insisted was too cool not to catalog. Commander Zethkar met them at the orbital station, his scales pale with shock. The survivors spoke in hushed, reverent tones about their rescuers, how the humans had walked through hell itself while telling jokes, how they had faced down planet killers, while discussing dinner plans, how they had somehow made the galaxy's most notorious death world seem manageable. "How?" Zethkar asked Captain Chen as she filed her mission report. "How did you succeed where our greatest warriors failed?" Chen considered the question seriously. "Well, sir, I think it comes down to perspective. You see a death world filled with impossible odds and nightmare creatures." She smiled that infuriatingly confident human smile. "We see Tuesday." In the days that followed, recruitment requests for human rescue teams flooded Coalition headquarters. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. When facing the impossible, sometimes the best solution wasn't bigger weapons or thicker armor. Sometimes you just needed someone crazy enough to laugh at the darkness.